Hey everybody, how's it going? I've got something a little bit more serious that I'd like to talk to you about today. I've been a bedroom musician for a long time now, dealing mostly with heavy metal music. You know, big crazy loud guitars, thunderous drums, and crazy screaming and all that good stuff. Recently I started jamming with a couple of guys appropriately in one of their mom's basements, and I've stumbled upon a new type of problem. Recently, big YouTube music man Andrew Huang made a video about hearing loss. Other big YouTubers have made videos about hearing loss, like Glenn Fricker from Spectre Sound Studios.
If you're jamming, the first thing you need to do is put on some fucking earplugs!
Look at this, Glenn. I'll link those in the description, please check them out. I've pretty much always worn hearing protection when I started going to shows when I was like 12 and 13, and up into the high school bands that I played in. You know, I wore those little like foam ones that everyone's familiar with. Those plugs are great for keeping your hearing intact and safe, but they tend to cut out a lot of high-end frequencies. So when you're jamming in a live scenario, you tend to lose a lot of the guitars, especially in heavy metal music. So my problem now as a singer of a band, as opposed to playing guitar, is that I can't really hear my guitarist. I'm left with only drum and bass. There's got to be a better way. Enter EARGASM Earplugs. Yeah, I know, the name, I know. Now, the goal of EARGASM Earplugs is to reduce volume equally across the board, which is especially important for live musicians that need to be hearing what their other bandmates are doing, even if it is messing up their parts. The box comes with all the info you need to know, 2 different size sets of plugs and the filters that actually do the work. I found the smaller ones fit me better. The box also comes with this really awesome aluminum carrying case keychain thing, which I'm particularly stoked about because now I can keep my hearing protection on me at all times without having to think about it. I happened to order mine on Black Friday, so for about the same price as the plugs themselves, I also got this connecting cord that connects the two together so it's harder to lose them, and this bag of cleaning wipes and a little cleaning brush. Because I mean, come on, anything going in your ear is going to get a little nasty. And on the website when I was ordering it, there was a little like special instructions box, and just as a joke, I put like, load me up with a bunch of EARGASM stickers so I can put them on my gear? Question mark? And fortunately they obliged, they sent me a bunch of them, so thanks guys. Now these don't fit exactly like the foam plugs, so it took me a second or two of adjusting to figure out how they fit in, but overall it was no sweat. Now there's a lot you can read online about hearing damage. It mostly relates to the decibel volume of what you're exposed to and how long you are exposed to it. Now, I was a little concerned that a normal level of protection with these plugs wouldn't be enough to handle a heavy metal guitarist cranking his amp to max volume so that he can sound max good. What better way to find out than to head down to my local bar's metal night? That looks metal enough, let's go. The local bands did not disappoint on all fronts on how I wanted to test my plugs. The Line 6 amps were way too loud for a small venue, and the high end was turned up all the way to get that nice metal sizzle. The drums were pounding loud and all the vocal mics were perfectly cupped so that the singer was completely inaudible, despite him turning up the volume on his mic channel between every song. The place was pretty packed, so the footage and audio I got wasn't really ideal. I started the night with my regular foam plugs and then halfway through switched over to the EARGASM earplugs, making sure to keep my distance away from the hardcore crowd-killing kids who were practicing their donkey kicks and backflips. I was unsuccessful. Ow! Ow! When I did switch to the EARGASM earplugs, I did really notice a difference. The binary code chugs of the guitar came back, the of the vocals was there as much as it could be, and it seemed like the volume was pretty consistent as it was with the foam plugs, except everything was even and still there. So to finish my test of the EARGASM earplugs, I brought them to band practice. And I'm happy to say it was a mostly similar experience. I could hear both of my guitarists individually, which was awesome. The bass was a lot clearer and I could actually hear myself through my monitor, which can really be a struggle sometimes. No live musician ever wants to get lost in the middle of a song, but I feel like singers and drummers are specifically in the spotlight when that does happen. So yeah, EARGASM earplugs, I think they're great. They really held up in the most kind of extreme musical circumstance that I could think of, and I'm really happy I have them. Especially with this like stash can thing, like this thing's awesome. Hearing loss is a pretty big fear of mine. I really love making music and listening to music, so it's something that I want to do for the rest of my life. I already have pretty bad eyes, as you can tell, so it's something that's very important to me. This one comment that I saw on the Gear Gods video on 5 reasons why you need to start wearing earplugs now really struck me. He talks about dealing with tinnitus for over 8 years and how much hearing damage can be so much more than hearing loss. He talks about losing his silence, his musical career, his social life, and struggling with his mental health dealing with this condition. He also mentioned he's suffered this damage after only 2 sessions of way too loud music playing. I really feel for this guy, and he goes on to encourage anybody that's reading this or seeing this to wear protection. He doesn't want anybody else to suffer with this condition, and neither do I. There is no reason that you need to suffer from hearing loss as a musician. It can be prevented. Wearing hearing protection doesn't make you a pussy, and not wearing hearing protection doesn't make you cool. Wear earplugs, wear a helmet, protect yourself because you deserve it. So thank you, EARGASM, for keeping us safe when we're rocking out. Does that work? Yeah.